Hey, Kithan here, and if you're wondering, hang on, this isn't Battletech? Yep, you're right, it's not. Some of you may be aware that last week I was involved in a stream with a few other people of Star Trek Online, and this was a game I'd never played before. I'd heard of it, obviously, but I just never got round to playing it. And, well, a stream environment isn't the best for learning sort of all the little intricacies and what have you. Especially sort of those little things that can give you an advantage early on that aren't obvious, and when you find them after playing for, a few weeks or whatever, you go, oh! Why didn't I learn that at the start? So this is just some of the things I picked up, because what I did after that stream is I created a second character just to get a bit more familiar with the system. I didn't want to play the same character and get sort of obviously quite a bit higher level than everyone else. But I thought I'd use the character from the stream just to demonstrate some of the things that I've picked up, and that's what this video is. It's just some beginner type tips. Now the first thing you're going to notice is down here I've got a couple of extra bars. The reason for that is later on you get a whole load of extra abilities, and if you only got one bar, well, you run out of space. Now this is easy to get. Just click on there and you can choose how many trays of buttons you have. There's a similar one as well in the ship, but that can actually go up to about 10 bars because you end up with so many abilities. It gets ridiculous. But that's the first thing. Now some of these abilities, this one here, it's a good example. These are ones that you get from gear you've created. So I can just hit that, and boom, it's created a little supply crate. Don't know exactly what it does, it's just an ability from my class, but there you go. Speaking of which, got a character here. Now you probably saw this on the stream, but while you probably saw the skills, we never actually went into this screen as far as I know. And this is actually quite useful, because everyone, as you say, you start off with some traits. These are based on your race, and you can just change these out of combat. So I can say, I don't want that anymore, I want covert, or I want assault training because I've changed the weapon I'm using, or whatever. These all give you little pluses. So for example, field technician improves kit module cooldown. We have to wait 30 seconds for that to finish, but when it does, I'll show you how much, what difference that makes. But you've also got various other ones, lucky, mental discipline. All these we can change as we go. But for example, I'm using a rifle at the moment, so I've got 5% bonus rifle weapon damage. No brainer really. If I was using a pistol, I'd switch to the pistol one. Similarly, it's probably not worth having both of them on at the same time, because you're generally not going to be switching weapons. Similarly, I've got a bunch of abilities for when you're in space. One of which, this one here, is really good, I think. Bonus to all damage based on how many players are on your team, including yourself. Plus 2 bonus all damage per team member, self included, up to 10%. Now given when we're streaming, we're all going to be on a team, I think all of us should be having that fleet coordinator selected, because that's going to be 10% damage boost for everyone. Well, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? I've also got some sort of techie type stuff, increased health restoration and regen for when things go pear-shaped, which they probably will, let's face it. You saw the first one probably. Yeah, we blew up a few times, shall we say. Improved flight speed, just for getting the hell out of here when things do go pear-shaped, and just warp theorist, which well, look at this, gives you warp core potential, so it improves the power levels for everything and better transfer rate. But that's traits, they're useful. Skills, you probably saw during the stream. And one thing that probably wasn't clear is these here, Lieutenant Commander skills. They don't rely on you having the everything in the previous thing. So here, I've got all the energy weapons and targeting stuff, and that is in line. But I could have, if I'd wanted, I could have taken control expertise despite not having anything here under science. So basically you unlock a new row each time you get a new rank. You can start all the starters. The other thing that's important is down here. I put 5 points into tactical skills, which means this bar has gone to here, which let me select an extra ability on top of just the ones we got from the actual choices we'd made. Similarly, there's another one here, and so on as you go up. All useful. All for whatever you're going for. So, for example, the engineering one, you know, so you're getting power increases, hull capacity, etc. But that's all useful stuff to pick up. Now, if we go to our actual character, the status tab, another thing that's useful is the gear. If you look here, a bunch of it is, you know, dimmed out. That's because it's gear that can't be used on the character. Now, one thing you can do when you hover over something, both for the character and your ship, it shows you what you've got equipped and lets you just sort of do comparisons. In the case of weapons, you'll often see this sort of thing where you've got two weapons effectively equipped. You've got a primary and a secondary. Now, one bit that isn't really relevant for our team playthrough, but is if you're playing it yourself, is the your crew, your bridge officers. They too can take equipment and probably want to. You don't just want to be selling off the lowest level gear you've got. You want to be passing it down to your bridge crew, and potentially for some things passing actually the better gear on to your bridge crew. Now, I mentioned the kit thing when we were looking at the traits. Now, you see up here we've got kit modules, and the thing, that crate I put down in front of me, that was an ability I got because I've got this Combat Supply Mark II. Now, if I turn off Field Technician and pop this down, one and a half minutes before that's available again. And that's gone down because we've accepted that. And this is just a buff thing of some sort. Don't ask me what it does, I don't know. I think if we hover over here, so we've got damage output, max health, damage resistance, run speed, dodge. Pretty good, really. That's something to remember for when we have ground fights with the guys. I've also got the ability to put down a mine barrier, mini minefield for stuff that's enemy troops coming nearby, but for some reason they don't let me use that in Space Dock. Can't think why, but there you go. But back to gear, similar way with the ship, everything for the ship is highlighted and everything for the person is dimmed out. Now, I don't know if you saw on Spange's video when he was selling stuff, he just went to the replicator and recycle to get rid of stuff. Now, that's the quick way. I can get rid of some of this stuff that's zero value. But it's not necessarily the best. If we look at these, with the last two things in here. Graviton Deflector Array, I can recycle it for 902 energy credits. The Hyper Impulse Engine, again 902 credits. That's one way we could get rid of things, but it's not the best. if we run over here, all the way round to Requisitions, and there's a similar area on most sort of space docks, sort of if you're playing another faction or whatever, and go to just one of the traders that you can buy things with. Requisition personal equipment, and this is where we can say buy different weapons. So assault, pistol and rifle, that's the 3 types of weapons. But if we sell, we can sell anything. Now remember those deflector arrays we were looking at? They were 902 to recycle? Well, now 1128. It's about what, 20% or so better? 25% better price? So that's worth doing, isn't it, if you've got the time? Now, that's definitely sort of one of those things that you'd like to know early on, because I've not played this that long, but I'd imagine that early on is when money is the tightest. It's going to be most important to know that you could get that bit more by doing things slightly differently. But that's most of the stuff sort of character based that I've picked up. But what about the ship? Well, there's a couple of little things on the ship. Let's just beam up to the ship. I'll just pause for the loading screen. Okay, so we're in space with my little ship here. I'm not going to go over how to customise your ship on this, which is probably another sort of similar beginner's tip. It's a fun thing to do, but I think we're going to be going over that at the start of the next stream because everyone's going to be getting their second ship. But one thing we've got here is basically how your power is distributed between weapons, shields, engines and auxiliary. So the 4 areas. So as you can see, just looking at these numbers, basically I'm concentrating on weapons. But in a fight, and if you're needing to change things, because you can change these by just clicking on these buttons up here, it's not that clear. If you click on this, you can change the mode. I tend to like this, where you've got these nice clear bars. You can also lock it. So basically that means I've got my weapons are always at max power, because I'm following, best defense is a good offense. Seems like a sound principle to me. If I've got power to my weapons, I can shoot back and hopefully stop the things shooting me. May or may not work, depends how good the other things are. But that's a useful trick. Again, as you see, I've upped the number of bars here, but as you see, you can get to lots. Ooh, looks like on 6 I've got you've got shortcuts to rerouting the power. Something I didn't know. Anyway, let's go back down to 3. So we've got our abilities here, and also abilities from our bridge officers. And it's worth looking at them. So I've got a tachyon beam, I've got emergency power to shields, and high yield torpedoes. And again, you can put them up here. So for example, the tachyon beam is also on my bar down here. I think there is a way you can set up sort of short keys for a lot of these. I've not gone into that yet because, to be honest, I've got a really basic ship. I can get away with just sort of clicking on things as I need to. But I won't be at all surprised if with time I need to start looking into the shortcut keys. But that's the space side of things. Of course, this is the one annoying thing if you're in space dock. You go to your ship from space dock and you think, right, okay, I want to get back to space dock. You need to move a little closer and get the dock button. And this is the other annoyance. You don't go back to where you came from. Although probably it's from a common sense point of view, it makes sense for people to only be beaming into a set location. It wouldn't do to sort of beam in front of someone and they just bump into you or something like that. Anyway, that's just a few of the beginner type tips that I picked up just playing this a bit more. One final one I'll add is up here. You've got your rank. If you click on this, it will tell you when you're getting new stuff. So for example, I've just hit level 10, so I get a new ship, I get a new trait slot and permission to buy next ranks of ships. And at 20, again you get another rank, you get another trait, another ship, and so on. And it's generally every 10 levels you're getting the trait and the rank and the ship. There is an exception to that. As you get higher level, so 45 you get another rank but nothing else. 50 you're getting another trait slot and a rank, but you don't get a free ship. 55 you're just getting another rank, and 60 you're getting another trait slot and the rank. But yeah, you can look through, you can see where you're getting things. You're also getting abilities like these that differ depending on what your branch you've chosen, whether you're tactical engineering or science. And this is one of the the only two or three areas that affect that. So the first is obviously these skills. The second is on the character, is what kits you can use. Obviously if you're an engineer you can use engineering kits, you can't use tactical or science. So if you happen to pick those up, then you might as well just sell them. The final one is on some missions you get particular things that are only available if you've got a particular class. So you might have, say, something that can be repaired if you're an engineer, or something that can be analysed if you're a scientist, and so on. But yeah, that's about it for today. Hopefully you found this useful, and hopefully I'll be seeing some of you on this week's stream, where we're going to be continuing our adventures, and well, hopefully I will be getting a bigger ship. Whether it's better, oh, I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway, I'll catch you later. Okay, for now.